everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now today we're back on the Triple FFF Brewery, and the previous two beers that we reviewed, well, let's just say they didn't go down particularly well, but we do have a multiple award-winning one. Today we have a pale ale called Moondance. Now it looks like it's won a gold award in 2002 and it won a silver in 2006. I'm trying to think which one it is. Champion Beer of Britain. So it was a gold medal winner in 2002 and a silver medal winner in the Champion Beer of Britain 2006. I'll put the details down below if you're interested. A lot of times it doesn't make any difference to me whether it's won an award or not, because at the end of the day there's been some fabulous beers out there that's never won an award, and there's been some really crappy beers out there that have won loads of awards, so it really doesn't mean anything to me. I find a lot of these awards kind of system, especially for beer, it lacks consistency. It's all over the place, and yeah, for me it doesn't really make sense how some beers can win an award and you think, how the hell did they manage to win a one? And other beers, well, like I says, I haven't won any awards, but they're a damn good beer and it's just madness why. So yeah, for me it means nothing. It doesn't tell me if it's a good beer or a bad beer. It just tells me at the end of the day, hey, they're face-feed at some point. You know, I sometimes think they just draw it out of a hat. But anyway, what does it say? Does it say any details on it? Nothing really. There's no real kind of information on it apart from it's won 2 awards. So, I'll get this down, crack it open and see where it takes us. Hopefully someone... That lid came off hell of it easy. Bit too easy. Anyway. Hopefully the hops will be controlled, because one of the things is a big problem I've found with this brewery with the first 2 beers is their hops are just so strong and so intense that it basically kills off every flavour in the beer, especially at the back end. It just bordering on undrinkable, I'll be totally honest. So yeah. This is a Sunday video, by the way, so I've got no backup. Right, I'm not really getting much. Maybe a bit of malt, a little bit of grain, maybe a little kind of accent of a hop kind of smell, you know, kind of generic hop smell, but I'm not really getting any real major hops, nothing standing out. And I would say kind of slightly kind of caramel malt kind of tones. The kind of main ones, syrup and caramel malt, and you can see it's nice and clear, so it's not hazy or anything like that. So let's see what it's like. What's the alcohol content? I don't think I even told you that. I'm being really good at giving you all the information. It's 4.2%, it's a 500ml bottle. And first impressions is, I was waiting for a big hop hit, like I got the first 2 beers, and I'm not. There's a little bit of hops at the back end, but fairly light, just in general. Never mind, it's really light for this company, or this brewery, compared to what I've had in the past, you know, so it's like, but yeah, overall, not too bad. It's definitely a more traditional bent, so it is. Well, not too bad. I initially thought maybe a little bit light in the mid-tongue, but I'm kind of waiting to see what I get acclimatized to it and everything else, just because I don't want to jump the gun. I'd like to like some of these beers. I mean, I want to like all the beers, but the first two I definitely didn't like. I just thought they were different levels of atrociousness, I'll be totally honest. Whereas this does seem to be based on a more traditional bent. Maybe not 100% traditional, but definitely more towards the traditional than any other kind of style, and definitely not near the kind of craft style. And overall, it's actually quite drinkable, to be totally honest. It's actually quite nice. It's a lighter kind of pale ale. It's not one of the kind of richer ones. I would say it's more of a kind of a session pale ale, which there's nothing wrong with that. So it's a wee bit kind of light on the body. But the flavours there are okay. They're really quite nice. Not particularly intense, but if it's supposed to be a kind of lighter body, then of course you'd expect the flavours to be a bit lighter as well to kind of go along with that and make it more sessionable. So I'm not going to be too hard on it from that point of view. It doesn't say it's a session pale ale, it just says it's a pale ale. So I will just have to take it for what it is. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. Which is unusual. Yeah. The thing is, I'm getting little hints of the hops that I got previously. There's one kind of flavour that I was kind of getting, one little hop flavour that I was getting with some of the previous beers, but it's way toned down. It's the only real kind of hop flavour that's kind of there, and I'm trying to kind of identify it. But it's giving you kind of slightly kind of hazelnut tones at the back end, which is quite nice. So it is. It's nice because I just thought, oh God, I was worried after the first two. I was thinking, what the hell have I got myself into here? Is it just me just going to be basically ragging on every beer? Because I really didn't want to do that. And this was a kind of make or break beer, because if this beer was going to be like the first two, then I'd probably call it quits. I'd probably, enough. Because I'm not going to sit there and just constantly kind of, rag on, I thought, no, I'm not enjoying this. I get no benefit in basically kind of ragging on breweries and kind of ripping their beers apart. There's no pleasure in that for me. I know you're probably sitting there thinking, you seem to be looking like you're enjoying it when it's happening. Trust me, it's not. It really kind of annoys me. And yeah, to be totally honest, I'm sick of drinking crap beer. So if this had been a bad one, then I would have just cut the series short and just wouldn't have bothered reviewing anymore, regardless of whether they're actually good or not. So enough's enough. Because I don't want to rag them anymore, and I certainly don't want to drink any more bad beers. I just, I'll be totally honest, I'm getting quite sick of it. I mean, right now it's a case as well, there's a hell of a lot of bad. I think maybe because you've done all the kind of main ones, all the kind of main, kind of decent ones and things like that. And then it's harder, you're kind of taking a bit more of a chance sometimes with breweries, and you really don't know what you're going to get with some of these smaller ones. And what I've come across is, gosh, some of them are really bad, seriously. I mean, it's the videos you don't see. Some ones where basically, I've bought beer I went to review it, I've had a couple of sips, and I thought, no, I'm cutting this. No, this is just dreadful. I'm not drinking this. I'm not wasting my fucking time with it. And these are the videos you don't see. These are the ones that don't get released just because I can't finish them. I just can't finish them as a review. Because I can't drink enough of it to get acclimatised to see if it does get any better. Because it's just so bad at the start that, well, it's just undrinkable. And for me, I can't understand how breweries can release beers that are undrinkable. I mean, it just doesn't make fucking sense to me. It really doesn't. For me, it's madness. So yeah, I'm becoming less and less tolerant towards this nonsense now. I really am. And it's like, I would say the ratio between bad beers and really good beers is ridiculous. I would probably say it's about 5, maybe even 6 to 1. And even the ratio between bad beers and okay to kind of good beers, not really good beers, but yeah, you're talking about 6 to 1, and yeah, for good beers and everything else, and okay beers, well, yeah, maybe kind of 4 to 1, you know, so like, for every 4 I try, I maybe get one that's kind of okay, maybe good, and for maybe every 6 to 7 I try, I might get a really good one, but it comes in waves. I mean, I can go, it kind of balances out that way over the kind of year, but sometimes I can go months and I haven't had a decent beer yet, and then it just becomes harder and harder to do a video, because you just think, oh, Jesus Christ, what am I going to get this time, you know, and it's like that, and you just start kind of losing interest, you know, because I like drinking beer. I don't like drinking bad beer. Hence why people have their favourites and their kind of go-tos. Doing this, well, you're kind of past your go-tos. You've already done your go-tos years ago, and then you're kind of into God knows what kind of territory, you know. And it's kind of quite difficult. So shall we break down these flavours? Right. Start off with, yeah, you're getting light kind of syrup, and light caramel malt at the front of the mouth, a little bit of sweetness, and a little bit of grain. Moves on to the kind of mid-tongue. I mean, the front of the mouth, it's okay. It feels, just because how it feels and just how the flavours are, it automatically kind of sets you up for something that's going to be a bit more on the kind of sessionable side. And it's kind of backed up and reinforced where the body doesn't really kind of grow in the mid-tongue. It kind of slightly dampens down a little bit the body, so it kind of loses a bit of body in the mid-tongue, and again that just helps to kind of reinforce it's more kind of towards a sessionable kind of bent. But the malt's not too bad. I'm not saying it's bags of malt, and I'm not saying it's wonderful, but there's an okay amount of malt. Personally, I'd maybe want a little bit more, but overall it's not too bad. It's a case as it's in the realms of okay, rather than being in the realms of good, you know, that type of thing. Sweetness, yeah, not too bad. What you do get is maybe a little hint of floral accents in the kind of middle of the mid-tongue heading towards the back, and these floral kind of accents kind of slightly kind of expand to this kind of more hoppier kind of back end. Like I say, it's not a lot of hops at the back end, but what you do get is quite a distinct kind of flavour profile. So you get light kind of floral, and it's just kind of slightly grows, and then it's just slightly, as it moves from the back of the mid-tongue to the back of the mouth, stroke aftertaste, you start getting this slight kind of fresh hazelnut kind of tones, which is okay. I mean, I like hazelnuts and everything else, but it feels like it's almost kind of green, slightly unripened, kind of hazelnut bent. So there's a, I'm not saying you could say there's a bitterness there, but there is a kind of slight edge to it, kind of slight, maybe fresh sour kind of edge to it, which is fine. It's okay. Not for me the best kind of hop flavour, but compared to what I've had previously from this brewery, it's a hell of a big improvement. I'll be totally honest, you know. Well, I think what's the last two scorings it had was 0 and 2 out of 10. So one was 0 out of 10, one was 2 out of 10. So yeah, overall, yeah, it's fine. It's not too bad. It's a hell of a lot more drinkable in my book, and it just kind of shows you that how much the beer improves just as they start to go towards more of a traditional kind of recipe and traditional kind of style of doing things. But what I would say, there's something going on with the hops. I don't know whether it's the pellets or maybe they are maybe using hop extracts like I kind of questioned in the previous reviews. But there's just a slight kind of twang there. Even now, I mean, there's very little kind of hops at the back end. There's not a huge amount there. But the slight, ever so slight sharp edge to it with this kind of hazelnut kind of accent flavour. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with the brewery and I don't know what they're actually using, but I will say it's a big improvement from the last two and a heck of a lot more drinkable. So, what would I give this out of 10? Well, becoming more acclimatised to it, the hazelnut flavour isn't so invasive now at the back end. So it's kind of dulling down a bit. And yeah, there's a nice kind of level of sweetness there. Malt, like I said, is okay. Not hugely, but again, if you're going towards something that's more sessionable and everything else, then yeah, it's not too bad. And yeah, like I say, that the flavours are pleasant enough. And it's a heck of a lot more drinkable. And yeah, I would say definitely a lot more enjoyable. Put it this way, I feel a lot better after drinking this one. I was actually really worried. I'm thinking, oh God, a pale ale, Jesus. I did a golden ale, it was hopped off its tits. I've done a Bohemian Pilsner and it was hopped off its tits, and I'm sitting there thinking, pale ale, I'm asking for trouble here now, haven't I? I really am, you know. And I was waiting for it and I was really quite so. First thing that surprised me was the aroma. I wasn't getting the kind of stronger kind of hop aromas. I'm thinking, it doesn't always say that they're not there. They might not be coming through in the aromas, but they can still be plentiful actually in the flavour and the taste. But no, it's a lot nicer. So out of 10, I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it middle of the road. I would say it's not wonderful or great. I wouldn't say it's above average, because you've also got to take the kind of price into it as well, which I'll put down below, but I think it'd be roughly about 32 or £34 for a 12 pack. So it gives you kind of, a rough idea on that basis. So yes, I'm going to give it a 5. I would say it's kind of round about average, especially with the kind of pricing and everything else. And yeah, it's fine. Would I recommend it? Yeah, it's drinkable, but for less money, there is better pale ales out there. I'll be totally honest. I mean, this is apparently a gold award winner and a silver award winner, but to me, it's a kind of bang average. Nothing particularly special, and nothing that I can taste in there that would justify it getting, a gold and silver in the kind of is it British Beer Awards or Champion Beer Awards or something like that. It's really quite small writing that I can't really read. But anyway, I will put all the details in the beer facts below. But yeah, that's the best I can really give it. 5 out of 10, and yeah, it's nice enough, it's drinkable enough, but there is better out there, and I don't really see, on this evidence from a bottle, how it really won an award, whether silver or gold. So there you go. But anyway, it's a 500ml bottle, it's 4.2%, it's called Moondance. Thanks for watching, cheers, and bye for now.